So I think the recording's on. Yep. Here comes Lisa. Really excited about today's workshop, masterclass. As I think I'm not even going to introduce myself because I'm pretty sure everybody on this chat today knows who I am. And if you don't, you can Google me. Ha ha ha. I've been doing this work for 18 fabulous years, and I am still so energized by what I do. It never feels like work. I mean, I get to see old friends here, and we get to connect and share wisdom and do it from the comfort of my home. So it's the best job ever. Um, I got certified 18 years ago in the Clarity Catalyst, which I'm sure most of you know about that course. I then became the lead train the trainer. About 10 years into that career, I had graduated, I don't even know, 10,000 students. And when Dr. Michael Ray retired and the lead train the trainer retired, they said, Jen, you're the one that did the most with this training. We want to make you the lead train the trainer. And so, really, Clarity Catalyst has been the thing that I got certified in. And I also feel like it gave me permission to then have that as my certification. And the rest of the probably at this point 25 different signature programs that I've created have all come from me listening to what my students need next and giving myself permission to just create curriculum and only having one certification. I know for my people out there, some of you guys have multiple certifications, and I honor that. But for me, I literally got certified in one thing 18 years ago, and I've never looked back. When I was teaching the Clarity Catalyst, the first 3 years, I did not have any follow-up material. I would just offer, if they wanted to work with me one-on-one, but I did not have a next level program. And what started happening was my students were taking Clarity Catalyst 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times because they wanted to keep working with me and there was nothing left. There was nothing else for them to do with me. And so has anybody here taken the action catalyst? I think Maria, Jade, you took it. Yeah. And so from the Clarity Catalyst, my signature program that I was certified in, I then was like, okay, what's next? What am I going to do next? And what I noticed was coming out of that, my students either unearthed some unresolved trauma or were super clear in who they were and what they wanted to create next, that they were ready to take action. And so I was hearing, I need healing, I need action, I need healing, I need action. And so what did I do? Well, I created, because I love a good 8-week course. I'm an 8-week course girly. I created the action catalyst and the healing catalyst, right? Just to meet their needs. And with the healing catalyst, I was definitely not a certified healer. And so it was almost like I curated this experience. I played the host. We would come in, I would guide them in journaling and meditation and group sharing. And then every week I brought in a different healer, whether it was somebody teaching EFT, about EMDR, cranial sacral. I would have someone come in and do a past regression session, guided breath work, Wim Hof, cold plunge, like all these different modalities. Now, I was not certified in any of these. But what I did was I brought a different instructor in. So let that be a little like wheel for you right here. Well, who am I to do this? Be the curator. Create something where you're bringing in experts, right? That's one way to create curriculum. And then with the action catalyst, I just kind of looked at my own self and said, well, what do I do to get into action? Well, I got to get clear about what I want to get into action. I got to make sure I have guardrails in to overcome my procrastination, my fear. I got to look at what barriers I need accountability. I need to map out a plan. And so I really just kind of looked at my own life and how I got myself structure and support to take action. And then I created a course based on that. And then again, more listening to my students. Then I became the lead trainer, the trainer, and the Clarity Catalyst, started training, coaches to teach this. And I had written a book, and I had done a TED Talk, and I had run retreats, and I had done a radio show and been on social media. And then everybody was like, well, how do you write the book? How do you do the TED Talk? How do you do the podcast, the retreats, and all that? And I'm like, I don't know. What did I do? Let me look back again. What did I do first? Okay, first for the podcast, okay, I made a list of topics. I figured out the pillars. How did I do my first retreat? Okay, I did this, I did that. And so it's almost like curriculum for me, creating signature programs for me have been twofold. One, I've accomplished something, and then I want to say, hey guys, here's how I did it. Or two, I'm listening to my students. I've got my ear to the ground and saying, what do you guys need next? And they're letting me know. And so this particular whole thing came out of that. All of my students have access to my white label, 1 hour introductions, and they have gone through my curriculum, and they're like, well, how do you do this? Okay, here we are again, 18 years into the business. It's like, what's the next thing? You guys came to me, not you guys, but my students about 2 years ago started asking me, I want to now learn how to create curriculum. A lot of people are certified as health coaches or life coaches, and they don't have a program. And so people like to have a program. It's sometimes easier to sell a program than just random coaching. And then for my Clarity Catalyst trainers, they too had that start to come up. What's next? They wanted more curriculum for their Clarity Catalyst graduates. So for my life coaches, my health coaches, for my Clarity Catalyst trainers, I was hearing the murmur a few years ago, how do we create curriculum? So I created a 4-month marketing mentorship course to teach people how to build, sell, and design curriculum, all with sales, with marketing, and most importantly, how to put together a 4-week, an 8-week, a 4-month certification, whatever course, how to beta it, and then how to build, the funnel and sell it and close it. So when you do something like that, when you create curriculum, then you need to have an introduction to that. You never want to be sitting there selling the entire time in an introduction. What you want is to give people enough value that if they don't have the funds, they can go out and do this themselves. But if they do and they want the accountability, the community, and they want a mentor holding them hand, and they have the money to do that, they can go on. So you always want to make sure when you do an introduction, it's 90% value, 10% sales. You always want to close with an offer. So I'm basically pulling the curtain behind tonight or today, saying, I'm going to give you a killer introduction. I'm going to teach you how to build a signature program. If you then at the end want to take a walk with me for 4 months and have you be my mentor and be in the 4-month marketing mentorship course, I will let you know the last few minutes of this class. And I will show you what an irresistible offer looks like. So that's what we're up to today. Um, my intention is, again, if you don't continue with the 4-month marketing mentorship, that you get the value that you came for today. And I promise that you will get value today. So let me pull up the slide deck. Okay. So, step one is choosing your topic, identifying your expertise and what your audience needs. Those two things should both be present when you're choosing your topic. Now, you might have a myriad of topics, you might have a myriad of audiences. I also want to say that when you create a signature program, sometimes the program can change the audience. And it's the same program, but the marketing changes and the audience changes. So sometimes you don't have to create lots of different programs for lots of different people. You just need one really good signature program that you can just tweak the marketing and tweak um, the audience. So as Juanita says, do we really need a niche? No, you do not. But what you do need is to do separate launches with separate audiences. I think when we go too broad, there's a lot of noise out there, so it can get lost. Um, with the Clarity Catalyst, I do it for teens. I do it for corporations. I do it for adults. And inside of the adults, I have done it with parents, Clarity Catalyst for parents. I've done Clarity Catalyst for coaches and entrepreneurs. I've done Clarity Catalyst for people seeking their life's purpose. So there's the umbrella of the signature program. But when you're marketing, you want to say, you know what, this quarter, I'm going to really focus on marketing my signature program to these people with this pain point. And then next quarter, I might change something else. Because when it flies by, it's like, oh, this is for teen girls who need this for self-esteem. Oh, that's my daughter. Boom. This is for parents. Oh, that's for me. Parents of a teenager. That's for me. It'll stop people more in their tracks instead of something broad. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm not opposed to launching a niche, but I am opposed to limiting yourself if you are somebody like me who loves to work with everybody from a CEO to a 16-year-old and everything in between. And over the last 18 years, I have done that. And I love the flexibility of being able to work with different people at different times of my life, but I don't try to work with everyone simultaneously at once. And the program, the Clarity Catalyst, is something that I could just change the tagline, but it's always the same tools. The tools are the tools are the tools. So if you work in health coaching, maybe you do this program and first it's for weight loss and then it's for diabetes and then it's for Parkinson's and that, but it's still the same lifestyle habits and changes and all of that. So getting clear on an ideal customer and ideal community. You want to focus on building a community with a common focus or desire. So if you decide, you're like, okay, this is the community that I'm going to be launching to first. Okay. And I want you to stay away from demographics. I want you to think of a community. Like right now, the big community that I serve, the big umbrella is entrepreneurs. I work with entrepreneurs. And then inside of that community are health coaches, life coaches, Clarity Catalyst coaches. I also work with speakers and authors, but that's kind of under this community of entrepreneurs. And then inside of those communities, there's people that have common um, desires, right? And then I'm shifting on who I'm marketing to which signature program at what time, but the overlining community for me is entrepreneurs. That's who, is everybody here an entrepreneur? Yes, you are. You're pretty much all under this umbrella, right? So if we look at everybody in this room today, not everybody looks the same. Not everybody is the same age. Not everybody is from the same city. You know, we're going to walk into a room of your target audience, but everybody looks different. Everybody here has different life experiences, but they're all connected by the opportunity your course offers them. So I don't like, unless you're like going for menopause or something really specific like that, you want to be mindful of saying it's women 44 to 54 and da da da, they all live in this area and they're all da 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 da, you know. There could be people that could really benefit from your course that may all not look alike and be alike, but they have a common pain point or desire. Obviously, though, when you're talking about something like a menopause thing, I would then push back on that because that is very specific to demographic and age and gender. Okay. But the rest may not be. And then you want to think about those people in the room. You know, as you've been building your community, you want to think about these people and choose one that best represents all the others. They represent the common needs, desires, and challenges of your students, your clients, but not the diversity or demographics and life experiences inside the community. Okay, so this is when we start talking about an avatar, right? So if I was to choose somebody in this room to be my avatar, right? Say I chose Jade. Okay, so Jade's going to be my avatar. She's very excited, you could tell. Now, I'm going to be thinking about Jade and what Jade needs when I'm creating my curriculum. But I'm not going to say that everybody's got to be, I don't know how old you are, but you're in your 30s or 40s. Everybody's got to have gray, gorgeous hair. Everybody's got to live in Canada, right? Jade's from Canada. Everybody here doesn't have to match Jade's age, where she lives, what she does exactly, right? But I'm going to think about Jade because Jade has similar pain points and desires that everybody in my community might be also having right now. And that might be they've gotten a certification, they have lots of knowledge and expertise, but they are challenged right now in sales, enrollment. They're challenged maybe with technology. They're challenged with marketing and packaging themselves. Jade, am I hitting a nerve? Yes, she says. And I would imagine that you all showed up today too, because these might be some of your pain points and older. And older, I'm reading your text. What will you tell me I need older than you? You're so cute. Um, you might all have similar pain points and desires, but different demographics. So be mindful of when somebody says, well, who are you marketing to? I'm marketing to, you know, moms who are 45 to 55 who, you know, like that's old way of marketing. That's 1980s way of marketing. We don't want to market like that anymore. It's really important to find your jade, though, because as I created my curriculum, I'm like, oh, would Jade like these colors? Would she like blue? I hope so. Would Jade, you know, need this information? Would Jade get something from this workshop today? And then maybe if I'm out there marketing, I might be writing blogs or doing a podcast episode. And I'm like, is this information going to be impertinent for Jade? You know, so now I'm not trying to please 1,000 people. Now I'm just thinking of one person that's going to help me make powerful decisions about how I market myself and how I create my curriculum. It just helps. Now, I know Jade's a real person. You can also make a fictitious person based on this demographic. It's called the avatar, right? So once you're figuring out who's your community, what are their pain points, needs, and desires, who's your avatar, now we want to select your course type. There are a few different ones. So when people come into the 4-month marketing mentorship, they're either going to create a starter course, a spotlight course, a signature course, or a certification. I would say 80% come in and do a signature course with me. And we're going to go through the distinctions of these different courses. Sorry. So the starter, it could be like a 3-week, even video recorded course, right? So say you want to just have a warm up to an 8-week course that you're already certified in. And you want maybe your certified course is like $600 or $1,200, and you want a cheaper course maybe for $97 to get people's feet wet with you. And so you create either a recorded version or a live online, like I am here with you, or an in person, like a 3-week or a 4-week starter course. It's going to be a lower ticket. It's going to be a way for people to get into your mix, not with a high price point, get to know you. And that also could be a great way, whether you're doing one-on-one VIP coaching or group, all of this applies. Okay. So it could be a great way, whether you do one-on-one coaching or small group coaching, to get people into your fold without a high price ticket. That's a starter course. And it's going to be anywhere like 3 to 4 weeks, lower price point, 297 or below. Then we've got the spotlight type of course. I think of Clarity Catalyst as a signature program because it covers a lot and it can help a lot of different people with a lot of different pain points or desires. I think of a spotlight course as very specific. Like, I know some of you have done my Shine Your Light Academy courses, like how to write your book. That's a spotlight course. How to run sold out retreats. That's a spotlight course. It's a very specific course with a specific outcome. And it doesn't matter the time. It could be 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, but it's a very specific course. Then a signature program is almost like when you are taking all of the certifications you've done, all of the books that you've read, all of the wisdom that you have, and you are getting inspired by that. And then you are creating your own proprietary program. It's not about like stealing things that are in other people's books or, copying stuff that you're not certified in. It's about how you have gotten knowledge in the world and integrated it into your own wisdom that you are now sharing with the world in your own framework. Okay. Then, certifications. Like I created the Action Catalyst 8-week course. I then created a certification for people to be certified in the Action Catalyst. I wrote my book, Directing Your Destiny. It was a 4-week course that then came out of it. And then I did a certification for people to be certified in Directing Your Destiny. What is the governing body of that? Me. I choose me. I'm giving myself a permission slip. And guess what? I'm giving you a permission slip. Here it is. There you go. There's your permission slip to create your own certification. Now, if you're going in the world of health, we got to be a little mindful. with certifications. The life coaching space is still the wild, wild west. Okay? Do what you want. No one's coming to the door. The FBI is not going to arrest you if you create a mindfulness certification course based on a course that you created. You can do this 100%. In the world of health, we have to be very mindful. I would not recommend that. Okay. But there are ways. There are ways for you to get accreditation from associations to make it an accredited certification. 100%. I got Clarity Catalyst. It is now an accredited CEU certified class. I mean, obviously it comes from Stanford, but it didn't have the CEUs. I got that done. So there are ways of getting that done, and I'm happy to help you with that if you want to turn your signature program into a certification and have it done properly for the health. Then we've got to name the course, right? Think about the course names I've just been sharing with you. Clarity Catalyst. We're going to get clear on something. I know we are because that word is in there, aren't it? Action Catalyst. We know we're taking action. Very clear. The Healing Catalyst. We're going to get healed. The Book Catalyst. We're going to probably write a book. The podcast. You see what I'm getting at here? Sometimes we want to be really cute with our names and really clever. And people are like, what in tarnation is this class about? Nobody knows. Don't be cute. You could be kind of cute, but make sure the tagline is super clear. If you want to be a little kitschy and cute in the name, you've got to be super clear, spelling it out in the tagline. Okay? Are there key words your audience will immediately recognize? The answer should be yes. Is it interesting? Boring does not sell. Is it so creative that it's almost confusing? So you want this challenge of being between interesting and not too creative, right? There's like a fine line. Oh, I love that, Kirsten. Does it tell my potential buyers what my course is about? And the good fun thing that we do in marketing mentorship is we are real honest with each other. We're bouncing off names with each other. We're voting on stuff. We're letting each other know, I have no idea what you're talking about, or that really lands, or maybe try this. Like we're helping each other with our marketing. Pricing. So a starter anywhere between 47 and 197, a spotlight 2 and 600, a signature 600 to 2000, and a certification 2000 plus plus plus. And of course, there's everything in between. But this is something that we also do market research in the marketing mentorship about what other people are doing out there in your space. If you're going to be launching locally, you can get away with higher pricing in bigger cities, everything from Denver to Miami to LA to New York to Nashville to Austin. If you're in a bigger city that has a lot of invest in themselves mindset, you can charge more. If you're in more rural areas or in different countries that this isn't as big, personal development and health coaching and life coaching, you may have to come down on the pricing. Creating your course content. So we always want to start with Z. Okay. So I will take the action catalyst that I created, right? My Z was on graduation, they have accomplished something specific. So people would come into the training and say, okay, I want to, over the next 8 weeks, write the first chapters, 5 chapters of my book. I want to create a meditation series. I want to research and get funding to start my first nonprofit. I want to fill in the blank. Okay. So when people came into the Action Catalyst, they were super clear on what it is that they wanted to create in 8 weeks. So then it was like, okay, if we want them to get here on the end and have something tangible, they've got the 5 chapters, they've launched their 501(c)(3. The meditation, downloads are done. They've created 8 meditations. What do they need first? Well, first of all, they need clarity, right, on what it is that they want to create. Then what comes up when you're about to take action? Procrastination, fear, barriers like, oh my gosh, am I too old, too young? Do I have money to do this? All of the limiting conversations. So the first 4 weeks, before I even had my students take action, we were clearing the way. We were making sure we weren't going to procrastinate. We were making sure underneath, procrastination was the fear of failure, the fear of success. Let's clear that away. We were looking at, do we have limiting conversations about money, about time, about our past trauma stories, about how old we are, male or female? We got to clear all that. So the first 4 weeks of the Action Catalyst were not even in doingness, it was in beingness. Because you can give somebody a to-do list, but if their fear and their procrastination and their belief systems are in the way, they're never going to get to week 8 and be holding their prize. So I knew that I had to rewind and tick these things off. Now, the second 4 weeks, I'm like, okay, let's get into action. And what are the tools of mind mapping, of color-coded timesheets, of, creating, there's all these different tools. And then every week, what did you do? 3 acts of will, 3 acts of grace. And I was making sure they got it done. And so that's how I built the training. And I built it in real time, right? I decided how many weeks, or maybe for you it's months. Are you going to do it live in person? Are you going to do it live online? Or is it going to be a recorded course? You want to break down the modules and the pillars, right? What each week is going to do. You want to create your deck. This is a deck, right? You want to create your PowerPoint, your Canva, your slide deck. You want to create a script that goes with every week. What are they going to be doing for soul work? Is there peer coaching? Are you going to have them put post-its up? And then are you going to give them additional resources along the way? Maybe articles to read or a book that goes along with the course that's going to be helpful. Do you recommend individual session in any situation? What would you charge? Virtual only, still kind of new, becoming MBHWC certified. Yeah. I would recommend that you get clear on what is your hour worth. Juanita, if you're working one-on-one with somebody for 8 weeks in a row and you're like, I need to get paid $100 an hour, the course could be $800. So it's like if you need to make 250 an hour, it's 2,500 bucks. If you need to make 500 an hour, it's 5,000 bucks. That's why I love group coaching, because you can bring down the price. When I work with when I do VIP business coaching and I'm teaching people what I teach in this 4-month marketing mentorship, I charge $2,500 a month. That is my charge for a one-on-one client monthly to work with me. That breaks down to about 650 an hour. I'm a 7-figure coach. I should be making 650 an hour. That's normal. I didn't start out like that. I started out $100 an hour. But if you've been doing this for years and years and years, that mastery is worth something. So I love doing group work because my group clients don't have to pay $2,500 a month. I can get 10 people in a classroom and they each pay a little. Now I'm making my hourly. I'm happy, they're happy, everybody's happy. So that's the beauty of doing group work. You can lower your prices. You have less time. You build community, which builds accountability. Nobody wants to show up for class and go, I didn't do the soul work. It creates momentum when people do things. Well, this is what group coaching looks like. We're looking at it right here. And inside of a group class, Juanita, you could say they get two VIP sessions with you, two 30-minute sessions with you. But if they all have a common pain point, health pain point, a desire, how wonderful that people who are going through Parkinson's or diabetes or on a weight loss journey, that they could all be together, seeing, wow, I'm not alone in this journey. Yeah. You're so good. That's why they pay me the big bucks. Beta testing, trying out in real time, getting feedback, testimonials, right? The deck is this, your slideshow. This is a deck, Christy. Yeah. And so trying it out in real time. So whenever I create a curriculum, I am doing it in real time. I'm creating an outline. I'm doing a deck, a PowerPoint presentation for only weeks 1 and 2. I'm only creating the script for weeks 1 and 2. You know why? I'll get on there and I'll do week 1 and we'll get maybe a quarter of the way through. And I'll go, oh shit, week 1 is week 1, 2, and 3. I'm so happy I didn't create 8 weeks and I only really needed to create this one because everybody needs to share. And, there's so much more. And then I go into now I've got week 1, 2, and 3 from what I created in week 1. And then I'm realizing, wait a minute, the week 2, I thought they needed something else. All these questions came up about AI. Now I'm making my next module about AI. This is what the people want. So I love creating curriculum in real time. And I'll tell you this, nothing like a deadline. Nothing like knowing everybody's going to be in my classroom next week, Tuesday at 12 p.m. and I've got to make that PowerPoint presentation. Shit, let me get to work. And then you're getting feedback. You're hearing from them. We think we know what people want because we were them, but we're not them right now. We've done all this work, and it's amazing how we can forget how we need to go so granular. Like even the word deck, I would just make up that you would know what that means. I'm not going to write that next time I do this. I'm going to write PowerPoint presentation. I make up that you guys know what that means. Every time I do a training, I get feedback from my students, JG living in the moment. And I'm constantly tweaking these trainings and making them better and better and better based off not what I think people need and want, but what they need and want. And so I'm always listening. I'm always tweaking and changing my trainings in real time. And then getting testimonials. This is how you sell a class. I could tell you till the cows come home how amazing the 4-month marketing mentorship is. Of course, Jennifer Grace is going to say that. She created it. We don't want to hear from me. We want to hear from my students that just graduated from it. So, in order for you to sell your signature program, you need to take people through for free in a beta that will then say, yes, this was great, and let people know about it, or a little skin in the game. I always say charge a little bit in the beginning. And then we get to step 8, marketing. Before we build a business, we build a community, right? We got to build a community by doing fun chocolate peanut butter events, events that are fun, that people want to come to. Some of them are free and some of them are paid. And guess what we're doing there? Lead generation, name and email, name and email. Then we're nurturing those names and emails. We're giving value to our students. Then we're ready for our pre-launch and our post-launch. That's the game plan of how you build this out. And then sales, OPP, other people's platforms, sales pages, irresistible offers, time limitations, authentic close, interview to direct or sell. So, what is an OPP? Those are other people's platforms. So anytime you're going to do something, you can partner with a yoga studio, a wellness center, and have them invite their students, their clients to your free introduction workshop. And if somebody then purchases your 8-week course, you give them a commission. This helps you get the cheeks in your seats. If you're not somebody who loves social media, then OPP is the way to go. I would rather, instead of do ads and posting on social media, I would rather network and get power partners and pay them on the back end. That's how I like to do business. I now have a book publishing company. I don't really market it too much. What I like to do is have power partners. I have certain power partners that if they send me somebody that wants to publish with us, I give them a $2,500 commission. I'm going to be at the top of their mind. I pay my partners well, but then I don't have to market myself. So instead of me teaching you what an irresistible offer is with time limitations, with an authentic close and an interview or direct to sell, I'm going to do it with you in real time right now. This is what it looks like. Okay. So, first of all, you always want to let people know that you're going to invite them into a training at the end so that they're not shocked. So, when I got on here, I let you all know that there was a 4-month marketing class. I told you about it throughout the entire training, but I gave you a framework that if you wanted to do this on your own, you and ChatGPT, hallelujah, you could do that. If you are somebody who's like, I'm a procrastinator. I don't always do it. I need you, Jen, to hold my hand through this and walk me through it. Then it's for you. But that's what you want to do. You want to tell them at the beginning and let them know at the end, at the very, very final end, what your irresistible offer is. Then there's got to be time limitations, bonuses. And you either do a direct to sell or an invitation for a interview. I do both. I tell everybody what the price is and I do an interview. The reason why is I only take 10 people in this particular classroom. Why? Because I am fully available for 4 months. I am on speed dial with these 10 people. Not only do they see me in class every week, they can book a call with me one-on-one whenever they want. I cannot have 100 people in a class and do that with integrity. So I have to interview people for this 4-month marketing mentorship to see if they're right for it, the right timing for it, all the above. So let me show you what an irresistible offer looks like. I also, Jessica, my assistant, will be sending you this PDF, but I'm not going to go through it, but I'm going to just kind of show it to you. You're going to get it in an email with the recording of this training, and you'll be able to take your time. So there's always going to be a nice cover. Here's the title, The Marketing Mentorship, The Proven Path to Launching and Selling Your Life or Health Coaching Program. Very clear. Then it will break down, well, who it's by, me. Once a week, 90-minute online class with Jennifer Grace. The goal is to design, market, and sell a signature health or life coaching program for one-on-one or for groups. And then it'll go on everything, which I'm not going to go over right now. You're going to get this PDF. You can take time and read it. Here's everything you learn in month one. Here's everything you learn in month 2. Here's everything in month 3, everything in month 4. And then here is the offer. This is an irresistible offer. So what is the value of this course? The value is $5,000. Then fast action. If you sign up by this Friday, May 8th, it's now half. It's only 2,500. You will get half off the class plus three incredible bonuses. Number one is monthly batching days. This is my favorite. Once a month, every month for 4 months, we get into the online classroom and we batch together. So I would say, Ariel, what are you working on? She's like, I'm going to write a few blogs. Liz, what are you working on? I'm going to make a few videos. Great. Kimberly, what are you working on? Oh, I'm going to write my deck, my PowerPoint for my next class. Great. Jesse, what are you working on? And so everybody declares, we go dark for an hour and a half. We come back and then we go, okay, what are you going to work on for the next hour and a half? Myself included, we get more done in this batching day than we get done the entire month. It's to me, this is the greatest value. It's incredible. Bonus number two, how to run sold out retreats. If you're somebody who wants to lead retreats, this course is fabulous. It comes from my Shine Your Light Academy. It was $1,500 when I ran it live in, person. This is a self-paced recorded course, but because you have me on speed dial for 4 months, we can go over and talk about a retreat that you want to plan. And then, of course, we all need money mindset training. Here's another self-paced course. Then what you do is you want to add it up. Marketing mentorship value, 5,000, bonus one, 2,000, bonus two, 597, bonus three, 597. You add that all up. Now, this has to be real value here. You can't be just making shit up. This is real value. So the value is over 8,000. When you sign up by May 8th, the investment is only 2,500. There's the 50% discount. I am doing an additional discount. If you took the Clarity Catalyst or if you're a Clarity Catalyst trainer, I'm doing an additional 500. So now it's only 2,000. To work with me one-on-one is 2,500 a month. You're basically getting 4 times that. There are payment plans, 6 month, 10 month, up to 24 months with a firm. And if you do a pay in full, you get a $1,000 valued website or a PDF sales page just like this one. My team will make it for you. It starts next Monday, 11th through August 24th. It's 11:30 to 1 p.m. EST. All classes will be recorded if you miss. There is an interview required for this. I will send you guys the PDF so that you can look it over. Here is my chat link. If you want to set up an interview with me, again, I am only taking 10 people in this class so that there is high level of value and participation and mentorship. The last thing that I always do is play testimonials, video testimonials. Written word testimonials do not work. You need to put their video testimonials of people that have graduated and had value from your course. The class starts next Monday, pretty much at this time. Wait, stop. I got to make sure that I have this marked off. Share, sound, optimize for video. Boom. Okay, here we go.
Having come through Mind Body Green's life coaching program, I had a lot of really great skills, but I recognized that I didn't want to just do one-to-one that was led by what each individual client wanted. I knew that I wanted to create some sort of signature program that I could be able to repeat, that I could be able to use with groups. And I recognized that what you were offering was exactly the thing that I needed, was this opportunity to create my own signature program. So, I've had 6 really highly engaged students for my first go around. We've got 2 sessions left out of 8. It is, I think the material, maybe I'm a little bit biased. I think the material is pretty great, based largely on the feedback that I'm getting from them, which is huge. And I also love about the marketing mentorship is all the tangible resources. You give us a lot of different examples. There are scripts, there's training on sales, on closing, ideas for which types of organic marketing to use. within those choices who to reach out to, how to do it, which makes it really easy to get started. This has been a great experience, super immersive, really great group, wonderful to grow along with everyone else. And I really appreciate having this. So
learned from the marketing mentorship class was how to complete an entire program from start to finish, which is really big for me because I have ADHD. Also, how to do the introduction classes, because you can just go ahead and purchase a program that has all of this. Or you could do it yourself. And when you do it yourself, I feel like you have more knowledge of how to present it. You're really big on building community. So it's easier to work with OPPs when you're building that community and networking. That's something that I've definitely been working on, just building community, working on OPPs, collaborating with others. Literally met somebody yesterday and we were talking about how we can collaborate and promote our programs. The last thing I wanted to talk about is stepping outside of your comfort zone, which I feel like I absolutely had to do this entire class. And I think what really made it a lot easier for me is just the way that it's broken up by the modules and then by the weeks. And then the fact that we have our peers to hold us accountable during these meetings.
I didn't even know what to expect coming into this. I knew it was something I didn't have a lot of experience in, but I needed to know. And first off, I just want to say the community here is incredible. The support, the encouragement, cheering each other on as we go is so valuable. And the accountability I appreciate so much. I was terrified of technology coming into this, and up to now have probably made it a point not to learn technology. I don't want to learn technology. But Jen, you made it easy, so hands-on. It was not terrifying anymore. I really appreciate that. I feel braver in even just trying new things. Being able to focus on what I really want, that also was good. Being able to narrow things down, you taking us step by step through this whole process. There was so much I didn't know, but it all makes sense. It all comes together independently. Being able to make a program for me that I want to share with the world, that I want to get out there. I didn't even know what an OPP was coming into this. So many terms and things that I learned. And being gently pushed outside of our comfort zone, so valuable, just a lot.
I had done multiple certification type programs, but I didn't have that signature program. When I took the 4-month marketing mentorship program, it was the glue that put everything together. And I was able to pull the threads of all my experience and the work I had done into a signature program. But the best part, it converted. I was able to convert it, use OPP, develop new ideas, and even things I hadn't thought of that I'd been doing, bring them back into my training. And I've enrolled over a dozen people in this program with more to come.
You taught me that I need the collaborations of other OPPs. And so now I have OPPs coming out of everywhere. And so needing that step by step and how you gave me that step by step education is what I will forever be grateful for. And learning these techniques, it was important to me because I don't want to be too salesy, but I also need to be to the point without babbling too much. And so you taught me how to be precise, but where to put a piece of me into it to be authentic and passionate. And so I will forever be grateful.
As I wrap up these 16 weeks, I feel such immense gratitude, confidence, and clarity has reignited my vision for how I want to serve, clarifying my message in a way that feels like home. It gave me the tools to not just market a program, but to share a mission. And through this process, I've crystallized my signature offering, the Brain Longevity Code, and began mapping out how it integrates with my transformational work as a nutritional and longevity lifestylist. Thanks to the layered structure you've developed, I can meet clients where they are, from introductory workshops that might spark curiosity to a deeper 10-week program that will create true sustainable change. And these ideas around pre-offers, platform partnerships, other people's platforms, and visibility opportunities has me more excited than ever. If I were to summarize this marketing mentorship program in one word, it would be integration. I have taken time to process everything that I've been building these past 16 weeks, from layered offerings to my brand voice to how I serve women across every stage of their life. I work deeply on clarifying my who I help arc, if you will, finalizing my speaker one-page structure, identifying aligned power partners. Jen, this marketing mentorship program is much less about starting something new, and rather it's about fully embodying the work I and we have already done. And I feel so grounded and excited to move forward.
Mhm. And it's exactly 12 o'clock, right? I ended on time. That's something really important. When you do an introduction, you don't want to go over. People have, they're in the middle of the workday, yada, yada, yada. So you want to just, and wow, did I end exactly on time? I don't even know how I did that. All right. The other thing that I want you to be noticing is the email sequence that's going to come after this. Notice it. It's part of the marketing. Okay. There's going to be a here's your replay, here's the PDF. You're going to see it come, hey, we've got 48 hours, 24 hours. That is a strategy and a system. Okay. And when you and when you take those things out, it's very hard to do enrollment. So just notice all the emails that are coming after it. It is part of a launch. All right, my darlings, it was great to see all your beautiful faces. I hope that a few of you are going to come into the marketing mentorship, and I'm really excited about all that is to come. All right, you're welcome. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.